Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Fat Boy Diaries. I'm Cameron Grand, your resident fat boy, and as many of you guys are wondering since you clicked on this link, today we're talking about the auditioning process, whether you go in for a live audition or whether or not you send into self-tape, and what the different strengths there are. For instance, I've gone a couple of different auditions and I went on one that was in person. It's something that is a strong tool, especially for people who have IMDb Pro or Backstage. Backstage is iffy only because of the fact that not everything on Backstage actually is movie related. What I mean by that is I use IMDb Pro to learn who I'm auditioning for, because the biggest fear that you have when you go into an audition is feeling like you're gonna be judged by strangers who do not know you. But if you research their projects, you familiarize yourself with a couple of their works, it really allows you to enter a room and actually be able to consciously be like, okay, I know this person. I know them enough to audition for them and not feeling so nervous that I can't function anymore because of the fact that I'm stressed about who these people are, what projects they're doing, are they going to like me, are they gonna hate me because I know nothing about them. What it means is you're like, okay, this is the kind of stuff they do, I know their vibe, so even if I don't speak to them and I just say hi, I can at least be like, okay, this is the kind of person who releases this kind of content. And so you really want to be aware of who you're auditioning for, so that way if they ask you questions, you have enough of a background on them to be like, oh yeah, I was looking into that, and I can you have a more educated answer than just trying to think of one on the spot. Because when you familiarize yourself with someone, you're more aware of the questions they might ask you. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I fell into this trap, which is why I'm trying to shed it to you. My advice for someone who's auditioning is make sure that you take a breath and you do the version of the story that you practice first, and then you start doing the auditions or add-ons. Because what happened with me is I got so caught up in knowing who these people are and trying to like be social with them that I abandoned my prep. That made the character go away, which was terrible. I don't blame them for not, casting me. I really don't, because I was like, that wasn't their fault, it was my fault. I was so wrapped up in trying to get over my nerves, I abandoned something that's very important and something you need if you actually want to get cast in something. Now here's another thing for self-tapes. Self-tapes to me are one of the kindest and one of the blessings of working as an actor. And I say this because the fact is a lot of people who go in for an audition feel like they're going in to get judged. Now the difference between a self-tape and when you're in the room with the auditioner is right now I'm in front of the camera, so I'm looking into the lens. So usually in a self-tape you would look off to the side because you're talking to someone, and as a person you never look into the screen unless it's like The Office and it's kind of that kind of style comedy. I say this because the fact is when you're by yourself and you're doing a self-tape and you have a reader, it's your camera, you're more comfortable with it, so you know that you are safe. Because realize that the reality is that when you're on camera, the person who's judging you is not the camera. The camera loves you. It is a friend. It just reflects the reality of who you are. It shows the truth. All it wants to do is show you the truth and let everyone know who you are. And that's why I love the camera. And the difference is when you're in the audition room, you also are conscious when you're going off here that there's also people behind the camera over here who are looking at you and judging you as you go along. Don't worry about that. Focus on you. You are in the room and that's what you're doing. I love self-tapes only for the fact is I know that it's just me, this person, I'm just my reader, and the camera will really relay the content I'm trying to give out. It's different from YouTube, so if you're doing a YouTube audition and stuff like that, make sure you understand what kind of thing they want you to do on YouTube, because YouTube is more about socializing with the camera exactly, because in YouTube, the camera is the other character, whereas in a film, person is another character. Just so like little differences. And now if I had to choose one or the other, to be honest, I'd rather do a self-tape that was a live self-tape. Or what I mean by that is I'd rather be like doing the self-tape and it's like, because I do this, it's a conference call where you're doing a self-tape, it's just you with the camera and then nobody else, but it's linked by the internet with someone else on like way off in LA. That is a very important thing that I think is really cool. I've only gone into audition once where that happened for a commercial. It allows you to be more free because you're like, I can play more, they're not here, but they're giving me advice, so I can play with their thing, so I can give that to them, and if I'm not, I know right away. Whereas sometimes they're like, no, can you do it a different way? And then you have to wait 4 days in order for them to respond to that. It's more immediate. I would start off by getting a camera, work up doing self-tapes, and then always know who you're auditioning for, what their background is, what kind of stuff they cast, and then go into the room, because then you are familiar enough with the camera that it's something weird, crazy over here, then back to your friend. Your friend is helpful, always truthful, and always will be on your side. That's my thing. You make strangers, friend, acting, joy. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe. And as always, if you are subscribed, if you want to be alerted to more videos I have coming up, just click on the little bell on the right hand side of the screen and you will be notified. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!